What's up, everybody? It's Ojao Garrett, and today we're going to do another tier list. Today's tier list is going to be like passive flipping focus. So like what's going to be AFK, what's going to make you some profit, what are the best items to make you profit, while also being not like that heavily invested into. So hope you enjoy. Smash that like button, subscribe, etc. You know, check out all the links, do all that stuff. Anyway, let's rock. So the first item up is going to be air runes, and I'm going to put this easily into an S tier. Yes, okay. You know, I can feel it every single time I talk about this. This isn't going to make you crazy bonko bucks, but it is so consistent. Like, throughout the years of me flipping elemental runes, I have 760 free-to-play accounts. LA runes, all of this small stuff will make you about 10K per slot. So for free-to-play accounts especially, this is going to be heavy lifting for you, obviously. But for everybody else, you know, 10K a slot. If you never have done flipping before, money is money, right? And it takes no labor to put in an offer for 1 million air runes and then just like 1 million fire runes or whatever, all that other shit. And then you can just like forget about it. Just don't even worry. Just know that, like, because if you have no slots being used, then you don't need to like worry about is it super efficient or not. Adamant bars for passive money making, my experience, stuff like this with a lot of volatility and stuff. More volatility equals less passive in my opinion. So amethyst arrows, I will say, is probably a B tier. They're a little bit more expensive to get into, but that's not what we're looking at. But I mean, it is a factor. They are pretty passive. You can hold pretty stable weekly prices. So you can put in like a weekly flip, maybe check it once or twice a week, and you should be able to get some units on it. It doesn't like jump around like crazy. There's not an insane amount of volatility. Same could be said kind of for the adamant bars, but they do, like over the month charts, they do, in my experience, seem to go up and down more. Adamant ore, kind of the same thing. It's probably a little bit better than bars because it's like a little bit less money. Just because like these items with these razor thin margins, they have the issue of razor thin margins that creep up over 1,000 GP. The tax eats up the margin, so it's kind of difficult to it's a little bit more difficult to get. So now this arm set, the barrel set here, this is going to represent all items over 1 mil. So these items can be very passive. This is how I actually got started flipping myself, was passive flipping every item over 1 mil. Tax makes it a little bit more difficult, but it's kind of easy to use tax, like get used to tax once you know it. You know, it's just timesing whatever your output by 0.01 and then applying that tax, but there's a pattern to it. Every 100 GP is one jolt gold, so whatever. You know, it's not that, it's annoying more than anything, but it still can be very passive. You just set some orders in for the 1 mil items, and you can find some that'll work really well, make like 50-60K per unit, sometimes a lot more. The more an item costs, the more you can get on the margin too. I can't remember what I think it's a Zamorak God Sword. It's like 50 mil or something like that. You can get like a cool 200-300K per unit flip on it pretty consistently. But every item over 1 mil, in my past experience, it's like how I first started getting money from, like, took me to like 100 mil to 500 mil beyond, and I just stopped using it. I only stopped doing it because I didn't want to deal with the tax, but the tax isn't that bad. So amethyst darts, this is just darts in general. I should have other darts in here, I'll talk more about them, but amethyst darts, similar situation as the amethyst arrows. They're mostly stable, kind of on the cheaper end. A few GP tax doesn't eat up your margin, so it is very passive. Mithril items, now I'm going to put in the A tier because mithril plate bodies are inalchable, so you can buy these at the low price. You know, they're very stable around. Alchables are amazing for passive flipping because they're very always right next to, they're fixed because of that alch price. So you know, like, once you find that number that you can get where you're happy, you will get that forever, and you can either try selling it back to GE, or you can just head on over to All Bulks, sell everything off, sell it over at your 308 Anvil clan chat. There's a bunch of clan chats where people just eat these up. So really nice item to buy passively. So we got Dragonstone items. I don't like them. It's one of those items that are like 10K. The margin gets eaten up and stuff like that. They're more just annoying to flip in my experience than anything. So you got like raw fish, and sort of depends. High C, low B, because like some of them do okay, but like there's some of them that cost 1,000, some of them cost a few hundred and stuff like that, but they do tend to fluctuate around a little bit, so it kind of takes away their passiveness. Now that I say that, like lobsters and swordfish and sharks and all that, I don't know. I'll just leave it where it's at. I think that's the safest estimate. D tier for all other amulets. or all their jewelry sort of like, I don't like a lot of them. I don't think jewelry has ever done me really well. Gems maybe, but not jewelry itself. Ancient Essence I'll put up in the S tier. This is a free money printer, so I'll put it higher than Air because this will just net you money. It's just it's one of the most free money in the game. We have cooked fish. We'll put a little bit ahead. People are, I don't know. I don't like the fluctuation of the price on these items. Plus, like, it's just I just haven't had a lot of personal experience where they're very good. They may be better. People may know more than me about that item. Pies kind of suck, so let's put them a D. Beer kind of sucks. Bones can be good, but you can get burned on these quite a bit, making them not as passive where you have to worry about flipping, then it's not as good. So then we got black items. Black items, I think they're okay. I'll put them top of B because they're niche. You're not going to get them for Alch prices because these are more collectors. But there's some crazy margins you can get. Like one time I was doing black scimitars. I was buying them for like 300 each and selling them back for 2K. And it worked okay. It didn't do bad. I mean, I haven't tried anything like that in a while, but my experience, black items have crazy margins because of the collector market. You can buy them low, try to find a buyer in all bulks, ask around some bulkers, see what they're offering and stuff like that. It's a decent item if you can find a good buyer for it. So blood runes for passive, you can make it a daily flip, weekly flip, whatever. This is one of those items. I think it's S tier. I think most of your runes are going to go up here right away, so I will just start tossing them up there. Body runes, not so much. Cosmic runes will go up there behind. So that'll be like that. No. Cosmic runes will go. These may all just be A tiers actually, because they're not as passive. They're like daily, so it takes away their passiveness. So like high A. We'll put them there. Capes suck. Blue Dragonhide, same argument as your alchables here. Plus the other Dragonhide body parts do pretty good. So you have like wizard robes, which is like PK items and stuff like that. Mid B, like you can buy some of them and you can get some decent profit on them, and it is pretty passive because you'll have to wait. You can usually get more profit or margins on PK items because PKers are not looking to flip or merch. You know what I mean? Most of them that I know, they just want to get some fucking items and they want to get out there and start PKing more. You know what I'm saying? This represents like your super rare shit, and this can be very passive. This is just, it's so out of reach for most people that I think I'm just going to put it down in D tier. But like in terms of just core flipping, this is still a decent item to flip passively. Like rich people items they buy, they take a while to sell, but when they do sell, you know, it's a really good margin. Seeds suck booty. Adamant items will be high A because anti-plate bodies are highly sought after, and it's tied to that margin. Oh, mithril items, I want to say, like I've had a lot of really good experience with mithril plate legs, like buying and selling to the GE with like a 300 GP margin. So there are certain items in these metal classes that do really well. Same thing with the steel items. They have like a lot of items, and I feel like I'm repeating myself here, but a lot of these tier lists, I've been doing a lot of these tier lists, so it's a lot of the same arguments. But in the passive perspective, just because it's not as much margin as like mithril, oh well, but we do have steel nails. Steel nails do perform very well. They are passive, and they do perform very well, so I will put them up there just because of steel nails. So bones, I'm gonna put low A because they are under 100, so there's no tax, and they do kind of stay the same. So they have 1 mil volume, so you will get them. You will get sales. It's kind of passive, kind of whatever, and it stays under 100 GP. The margins are nice and juicy. Bronze arrows, in terms of passive, I'll put them ahead of amethyst just because they're so cheap. There's not a lot of volume compared to like other arrows, but they are very cheap to get into, very passive, free to play. All that stuff's good. Bronze bolts, sort of booty actually. It seems like it'd be good, but it's only got a 7,000 buy limit, so like the total profit you'll make off the slot per day is like 7 times 6, which is 42K, which, you know, it's not nothing, but you won't even hit that buy limit most of the time because there's not a lot of volume there. Bronze items for passive money making, if we're considering all bulks, I will just put it in for A because a lot of people are haul bulks is bronze items are very heavily sought after for collections. People love bronze items. So you have teleport tabs and stuff for passive. I will put that towards more higher B because teleport tabs, I was watching a couple flipping videos and they were always in the trade windows for that. And their volume's a little bit lower, but because the volume's a little bit lower, the margins are a little bit wider. So they're less than 1,000 mostly. The volumes are a little bit lower, so it takes a little bit longer to get sales. So when you use that time to get sales a little bit, you have a little bit bigger margin, so it becomes a little bit more worth your time. So it is decent and passive. So we got cannonballs. I would not touch this with a 10 feet pole until Sailing comes out. That's just me. And if you're watching me, you're probably not as good at flipping. And I'm like, I have a particular niche in flipping that I make a lot of money doing, but like speculative flipping increases risk, which increases your chances of losing. When you lose trades, then you don't want to trade. Then if you don't want to trade, you're not making money trading. So I just say, do not trade super risky items unless you're absolutely sure or like completely content with losing all your money in one trade. Chaos Ruins will be high S tier because they do hover around the same prices. They fluctuate month to month, but like you can set them for a week trade. You can set them for a week. Let's see, like what are they, 60 something right now? I got them for 65 on dead man mode, so we'll just use that as a frame of reference here. So 7 mil a day, take that times 7. 50 mil you can put in. 50 mil to get 108,000, I believe. It's 18k times 6, I believe. So let me just check that real quick. Times 6, 108,000 times 7. So it's 756,000 a week for a slot. One slot, almost making a mil, is pretty damn good. So Chaos Run is going to be a very, very high ball. So for free to play, this would be higher. But since it's not free to play, I'm going to put it like the chocolate bar here. It's going to be mid B. Same with chocolate dust. This is one of your higher high demand items. They use this for potion mixing or whatever, so that's always in demand. But chocolate, people in free to play are always buying and selling chocolate to try to make money on cutting them to make chocolate dust to try and make money. So there's a lot of volume there, and there's a lot of play in the margins because that I believe they're under 100. So there's that. Coal would be high on the B list. We'll put that ahead of this because it's tied to elk price, I've heard, and Coal, my buddy Shiny Mew swears by them, so I do trust him since he's another billionaire flipper that I talk to. Copper passive, I don't know. In my experience, no. It's less than 100, so it goes to B, and then we'll find tin down here as well. These are like relatively the same price. They're kind of locked in. Let me just look them up quick. So we're gonna go back. We're gonna look at bronze or copper. Sorry. Copper ore, 1414. And we're going to look at tin. They should be relatively the same price. The last 12 hours there. Pretty much the same. They look actually a lot better. That's 1 day, 1 week. Let's see if they moved around. See, they shift week to week. So you can probably put it in for 15, get 15 to 15. This actually looks a lot better than when I tried it. So 15, it's at a low point for the month as well. So actually this will probably move up a lot more. I'll put that right behind coal, tin, and copper because we should check the volume on that as well. Tin ore volume 24 hours, 140,000. So yeah, it's gonna be a little bit more passive. 140,000. That's like 10% of the volume that you want it to be at. Right. So we have diamonds. So this is like cut stuff, uncut stuff. All that's going to be kind of the same. We're looking, I don't know. Some of them you have like a couple hundred GP for like a sapphire emerald, so we'll put it mid B, but like it kind of gets booty the higher up it goes. But like it's not very passive. That's why I'm struggling to put that on the list. So I will just put it in C. So you have dragon items, same argument. Top A tier because it is members, so you won't have to compete with free-to-play people as much. But I believe dragon items are, a lot of them are Alch-tied at least, so you can get the elk margin there, so it's really good, really stable. Low barrier, high barrier of entry for total cost. So then it is a pro for rich players, but a con for poor players. But because it's a pro for rich players, because you won't be competing with as many people for it. So it's really nice. Earth runes S tier, same as air. Potions, kind of, I'll say they're okay in my experience. Energy potion, not specifically, but all potions, they've been okay for passive. I've been able to overnight those pretty decently. They kind of come and go. I don't know. I just haven't really done very well with them. High A for emerald bolts / other bolts. Bolts under 100 GP. high tier for passive trading. They hold pretty well. You have to watch them like every other day or whatever, but I've been passively trading bolts for a while, and I've made a lot of money doing it, like 10, 20 mil in the past couple months, just on adamant bolts alone. So I have knew it. It's a weird one. It's got a lot of volume. It's really cheap, but I just didn't have a lot of luck buying it, so I'm just gonna put it in middle of B. Could be better, but yeah. Fire Rune. I love Fire Runes. Made most of my money in RuneScape on Fire Runes. My first 3 billion off Fire Runes alone. Tools kind of depends. So high C, I would say booty just because the buy limit's kind of shit, but there is the Alch market, or not the Alch market, sorry about that. All bulks market. So it's not horrible. Feathers, high because you can buy them for 2. Well, they're better than all these runes actually now because you can buy it for 2, sell it for 3. It's a really nice passive item to go for. Gilded items. Kind of the same argument as rich people stuff, except you're competing with free-to-play people, so we'll go behind the other stuff. Grapes, high B. They've done well in the past. They will continue to do well. People are using them for cooking. Gold ore, kind of the same argument. Ore is kind of its own market. I just put adamant down here because as it gets more expensive, it gets harder to trade passively, in my opinion. So you got green Dragonhide. Green Dragonhide chaps trade really well. So that is going to go. I think they trade better. Well, it's tough. It's really good. I think it's really fun or a decent item to trade. Green Dragonhide chaps. I've been able to get 200 GP margins out of them and trading them pretty passively. Like you won't make a shit ton of money, but this is passive money. You know what I'm saying? Not thinking about it. So you don't really. It doesn't really move around. I think it may be tied to like PK price. Alch price, but then it's also influenced by the PK market, the free-to-play PK market, and stuff like that. All the PK accounts, like this is the main range armor for PK or for free-to-play, so it's always going to have some sort of like demand, and members are supplying it. Yeah, but yeah, green Dragonhide bodies, same thing. These are just awesome items to purchase. You know, it's a lot of the same thing. You know, Alch or collector, sorry, but green Dragonhide Van Braces have not tested them, but I feel like they're gonna have the same effect as the chaps. We have the grimy herbs and just herbs in general. I'm gonna put them low B just because like the lower priced ones seem to have a decent margin and an okay volume, but they don't. No herb I looked up had over 1 mil a day volume. I could be mistaken there. Don't quote me, but I'm pretty sure none of them have over 1 mil margin, which is not the end of the world. But like some of them, when you start getting into the thousands, a few I looked up and spot checked, they're getting their margins eaten up by the tax, because it's, again, I've said that a million times, it just happens. Technically though, let's look at this list. You can flip any of these items passively. You just need to try the item out. It's just, in my experience, this is just what's been going down. So hard leather, kind of a lower volume than the normal leather. So the normal leather would be like high B, and then the hard leather would be low B because of volume and price difference. I think this is like 300, this is like 100 or something like that, so the tax makes the margins a little bit harder to find. Craft leather items that you craft. I haven't tested it myself personally yet, so I'm just going to put it in C just to be safe. I know a lot of collectors are after this type of item. Like, for instance, there's a guy named Vop in my Discord. He does buy leather items, I believe, for more than what they're selling for on the GE. So there is that like funnel, that price, that incentive to buy. But I haven't done it myself personally, so I can't recommend it or not recommend it. So we got iron arrows. I'm going to put it at the tippy top of A because it is the same. I've been getting 22k per slot with iron arrows, but then they slowed down a little bit. So I'm not sure if like me advertising how awesome they've been has kind of killed them, but like the last time I looked at my free-to-play efficiency accounts that are watching iron arrows, they did pretty good. So it's weird. It's just weird. That's weird. I'm getting a call, but I'm going to ignore that. Anyway, so iron bars. Iron bars will be higher on the list. Iron ores should be there with it too, in case I did not include it. Okay, so they're not with it. So this is sort of, let's just look at the scanner on this one, just so I can just make sure I'm not talking about my ass about this one. Iron bar. Let's look at the volume. Volume's less than 1,000. Looks like we got a 4 GP margin here with tax. So pretty good. We'll just check the margin, see how it moves around. Oh, I just heard the TV ringing on the television, so I thought my phone was calling for some reason. Anyway. 1 week here. Looks like you can passively trade this. Yeah, you can do this daily. You just go in at like 263. Try to sell it back for 266. Wait. $260, $266 I think would be better because then you can get a 4 GP margin there. But yeah, you could probably do that. It shifts her out a little bit. But when you see big volatile spikes like this too, you can probably capitalize on that. But it's just, yeah, that's probably not bad. Iron darts, high on the list. They do pretty good. Iron items, same argument as bronze, except for I just don't know if they're as popular, so will put them at the bottom of the B just because of that. Jugs do really good. Up there. Jugs of wine, same thing. Law rune is a taxed high volume rune, so it's like chaos rune, but just a little bit more, so it's a little bit... we'll just slide those back up there. I gotta check law rune. I'm gonna make sure that's under 100. Oh, it's over 100. Okay. So it makes it a little bit more difficult. So if it was under 100 or 100 or less. Oh, wait. There we go. Because those are 100. So it's all still the same tax, just 1 GP. Maple logs, I will put in high A tier just because it is very, very passive. And they somewhat stay still. Plus we have that update coming out where everybody thinks it's going to go up. So it's been kind of... Let's see if that's affected it. No, not really. Okay, so that's just a big speculation, but this has been a pretty stable item to get into, very passive. I know a lot of people have been trading this for a while and have been making money on it. So high volume, get it for 24, sell it for 26, 2 GP margins with volume being like, this is 4 hours, take that times 6, that's like a 10 mil volume. That's a lot of volume, actually. So that's like 3.4 for 4 hours. Take that times 6 would be 18 mil a day. So that's a lot of volume. So for 18 mil times 2 GP means that this is making everybody 36 mil a day, I believe, which is good. That's a good price. Mithril arrows, I will always put high on this, but sometimes they've been freaking out too. Let's look at them again. I've been trying not to make this as long, but like if you guys don't mind me charting stuff and just like we just look at them together, just make sure. I will not mind doing this as much. But mithril arrows, yeah, so they're chilling right now. But like for a while, they were fucking freaking the fuck out, and like I used to trade them daily, but then let me try to find it. Yeah, like they just started freaking out. They go all the way up to 11. This is where I used to trade at 5.6. They were 5.6 for the longest time, and I don't know what happened to them. You know what I mean? These were like one of my stables. Like I would tell everybody just to trade this every single day because they would just chill here. But then all of a sudden they started pumping, and it's near that all-time high. So that it's like, do I want to deal with this? I guess it's near its all-time high. So it's eventually going to plummet again. So you know what I mean? So it's like kind of scary, but it is so high at volume that like you'll make enough sales that you can passively trade it. You just got to kind of keep an eye on this one because it might just start dumping for no reason. Mithril bars. B, just a B. Don't know how to talk about it. But mithril bolts, really nice. Really nice. Under 100, good volume. 4 to 5 GP margins. Mithril darts, S tier. This is like a free money printer just around. These two are very, very much so membership money printers. Thread, I'll just grab that out as well. This is a free to play, but this has been performing really well. Flax should be on this list too. Flax is up here. Flax is an S tier. Swamp tar is an S tier. Can't believe I don't have that in here. Well, it's because there's a lot of items, but yeah. So we got nature runes, that will be an S tier. Wrath rune, I think that's like 200 GP, so just tippy top of A tier. Monk robes, that was to go with the blue robes to be PK stuff. So just bottom B. Oak logs is an A tier item because it's less than 100 and there's a lot of volume. Pie shells, dishes would be like niche sort of, except for like free-to-play players are always looking for this, so it is not a shit item. Pure essence is the best item in the game, so I'm going to put it at the very top, S tier. I've purchased over 5.4 billion pure essence in my career, so I love pure essence. Potions, Oh, this is free to play potions. These are membership potions. So I will put membership potions in A tier. Cosmetics. I can't personally, you know, treasure trail items and stuff like that. I can't condone them. Like, I don't know. I don't know that market that well, but they seem like too far and few between that. Like, it's very not passive. I feel like it's very volatile and risky, so I don't like it. So then we got raw fish, under 100 GP. That's what salmon represents. Is an A tier flip. Rune essence would be. I'll put that there because I think it's been performing very well. I for no reason. It's pretty stable. Red Dhide chills here. Rune, top A because they're stable. It's Rune. Rune is tied to Elk, so it is passive. It will like the price cannot run away from you. It is super safe. The leathers, green Dragonhide, stuff like that. This is pretty stable. The bots kind of keep the prices the same, and you can get bot dumps off them and stuff, so they're really good for passive flipping. Runite bolts, I've made like a bunch of mil on them. They're really nice. Runite arrows and Runite bolts and stuff like that are trading really nicely right now, and they're less than 100, so it's a really nice item. Silver bar, kind of niche. People don't really use it as much as the other stuff. Staffs. Oh, battle staffs. We're going to say these are battle staffs. These are also really high. I love battle staffs. Like air battle staffs. You get like the buy limit is super huge, so the margin is like 80 GP, but you can just buy a poop ton of them and just passively make money every single time you trade these items. I kind of want to put that into S tier just because that. We'll put Runite up there as well. Battle staffs as well. Alchemals is really nice there. Willow logs, not as good as maple. They are more common than oak logs, so they're doing pretty good. Yew logs, I kind of think they're booty. I think the tax geeks up the margin, so we'll put them in the booty tier, C tier. Zolra scales, S tier, because they're one of the most traded items in the game with 1 GP tax. And we have bows here. Bows are sort of kind of booty too, because the tax gets eaten up because they are I don't know. Sometimes maybe I gotta trade these again. I will try trading these again when I look at my members accounts again. They may have potential just because of the volume and they are alchemals. It's just in my experience so far, they haven't been very passive for me. But yeah, so there's my. Oh, I will say one caveat. This is a secret tip. If you made it all the way to the end here, maple longbows unstrung. Buy them for around 85 to 95. Sell for 100 plus. That is a super pro passive trade that I've made, and it's made me hundreds of mil. That's one of my secret picks. So if you made it this far, you're welcome. Thank you guys for watching. Hope that helps. This is for passive money making. Boom. Passive flipping. Yada yada. I'm kind of tired. So catch you later. Thanks for watching. Peace out. Subscribe. Check out my links down below. Check out my course. You want to scale up to a 760 plus free to play flip farm. It's not about flipping. It's about how to build the farm, the values in the farm. I'm going to save you so much time that the $50 on pre-sale right now will be drops in a bucket. Get you closer to making hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of mil a week with only a few hours maintenance, depending on how big of the system you want to make. So check that out. Catch you later. Peace out.